Hi VC, and congratulations to Carsten Olsen at My Analog Corner on 1,000 subscribers. That's awesome, man. Keep up the good work. I really enjoy your channel, and I always appreciate what you have to say and the way you look at music. So I'm really happy for you. I hope that someday my subscriber count can get anywhere close to that. That's a big accomplishment. So you deserve it, man. You wanted us to come up with a name for your guitar, and you were thinking something fire or flame inspired because of the paint body on it. It looks great, by the way. It looks like a fantastic musical instrument. I knew a lot of people would be submitting names with fire or flame or something like that in them, and I didn't want to be that direct. I wanted the name to be something a little more unique, something that has a little more sticking power. It wouldn't be something you hear other people naming their guitars. So I thought a little bit about it, and I was thinking Brimstone. I think Brimstone would be a really great name for the guitar, because when you think Brimstone, you think sulfur, you think volcanoes, you think, molten rock, you think explosivity. You want your guitar playing to explode onto the listener. So I think Brimstone would be a really great name for it. Let me know what you think. Now on to the really cool part. I'm so happy you did this, because it's really fun to do. Every audiophile, every vinyl collector loves to do, top whatever lists. And guitar solos is one that I've thought about a few times, but I've a lot of the music I listen to is while it's very guitar heavy and while it's very guitar driven, it's from the punk tradition, and the punk tradition is to do away with guitar solos. So I was looking through a lot of my music, especially music that I think features really fantastic guitar playing, and realized a lot of these musicians don't actually come out and take traditional solos. But there's plenty of great stuff that does, and of course I listen to a lot of classic rock. So I was thinking back to some of the classics. Musical Box off Genesis's Nursery Crime came to mind. Some other stuff, I could easily throw Led Zeppelin in there, or something off King Crimson. Incredible guitar work on there, really inspiring. And then I could easily do something in progressive metal too, because I listen to a bit of progressive metal, and easily a band like the Human Abstract, where AJ Minute, all the albums and songs that AJ Minute plays on, all feature insane guitar solos, some of the best guitar playing I think I've ever heard technically. And of course, Between Them Buried and Me has some incredible guitar solos in some of their stuff. But I really wanted to go for guitar solos that kind of hit my soul, and kind of hit me from a more personal standpoint. And I thought back to the music that shaped me when I was younger, and hearing these guitar solos for the first time, and really having them have an impact on me, and think about guitar playing in a different way, and really think about the guitar is a really impactful and expressive instrument. So because of that, and all this stuff, whittling down 3 guitar solos was really, really difficult. I came up with almost a dozen off the top of my head that I really wanted to include, but we're doing 3. You said 3, so let's get started. The first one is from one of my all-time favorite bands, The Fall of Troy, who just recently got back together a couple years ago, and have now just put out their first recorded album in, I think, 7 years since their last album, which is really great. You should check it out. This song actually comes off their 2007 album Manipulator, which is my favorite Fall of Troy album, and features, like every Fall of Troy song, this is a 3-piece band. It features the guitar playing of Thomas Erak, who's I think one of the best modern guitarists out there. He's incredibly innovative, and was playing insane shredding solos at a very young age. I think they were only, the band was only 21 when they recorded this album, 21, 22, something like that. And it was already their 3rd full-length album. So, think about that for a second. But just listen to the solo. I'm gonna put it up here. It's an incredibly shredding solo, and it really demonstrates Thomas's unique approach to guitar playing. There's a huge emphasis on fretboard tapping, finger tapping on the guitar, and how he's able to play faster than normal licks using that. Really shredding solo. So check it out. number 2 pick for top 3 guitar solos is from a band called The Sound of Animals Fighting, which is actually it's not really a band, it's a supergroup. It's a rock supergroup formed out of a number of bands. Has members from RX Bandits, Circus Survive, Chiodos, Finch, The Autumns, Days Away, I think. I might be missing some people, but it's a band that has had a lot of members from different bands contribute into like one giant musical ensemble. And this solo is played by Matt Ombre of RX Bandits, who's an incredible guitar player. And it's played on their second album called Lover the Lord Has Left Us. The song is Horses in the Sky, and I'm going to play you the live version, because even though the studio version is really good, I think the live version's even better. So this live version is actually off, it's a bonus track on a reissue of another one of their albums, but I'm going to consider it being off Lover the Lord Has Left Us, because that's when that's what the studio track is off of. And it's just this incredibly melodic guitar solo that kind of hits in all the right places. So check it out. Guitar solo number 3. This one is going to be very different than the last two. This is a guitar solo from a band called Boris. They're a Japanese band that's been around for about 25 years, and they play a mix of hard rock, stoner rock, doom metal, progressive metal, and all their albums sound very different. They've been known to go into kind of the drone, stoner, doom genre of music, like bands like Sleep or Dope Smoker, things like that. They've been known to do a lot of fast progressive rock. They've been known to kind of explore the gambit of sonic textures, and they're only a 3-piece too, which is, I think that makes it even more incredible. This is a song off their album Smile, and the song title is give me a second with this. Kare hatata saki, no one grieves, or no one's grief. I think that's a misspelling on my playlist, but anyway, Kare hatata saki. Not an easy name to pronounce. And the song is this huge sprawling, it's almost 10 minutes long. And the guitar solo actually makes up almost half the song. So I'm not going to play you the whole solo because it's just this sprawling guitar solo that's actually note-wise kind of simple. It's very different from the other solos I just played, where it's not so technical. What's really awesome about this guitar solo is that the musical expression Wata, the guitarist, she's able to get out of just this very simple phrase, this very slow-moving simple phrase is incredible. The range of sound she's able to get out of her guitar, the phrasing, the bends, every little motion. I mean, it's very difficult for guitarists to phrase very well and very convincingly, and to really create this like tension, this really gritty musical tension. And I think this solo is a perfect example of it. I mean, I'm going to play you about however long of a clip of a much larger guitar solo. This is a very long solo, so I'm just going to play you a little bit to give you an idea. But I think it's a killing solo, and really all their music's killing. There's a number of other solos in their music I could have picked. Their song Rainbow has this really, really creepy guitar solo. It's this very quiet song, and then this guitar comes in with this really layered, creepy feedback line. That's a great solo, but I think this one's my all-time favorite by them, so check it out. finally, Carsten, for the third part of the video, you wanted us to talk about our portable music. Now, I don't drive. I live in Montreal, so I don't drive, but I do listen to music on the go. And I actually just bought this about a week ago. This is my new Pono player. This is the high-res music player that Neil Young came out with. Now, there's been a lot of people have a lot of things to say about this player, but I will say that high-res music, for me, is the only thing that gets me close to the sound of analog vinyl, to the sound of true, all analog, mastering, cutting, everything. High-res music gets me pretty close. It's not as good as vinyl. I'd rather listen to vinyl any day of the week, but the reality is that a lot of music's recorded digitally, and I really enjoy listening to music while I go places. I really enjoy listening to music on long walks. I enjoy listening to music on my commute in the morning to school. I enjoy listening to music, if I got to walk halfway around the city, because Montreal's a walking city. And so to have really high quality music, to have high res music files or even standard CD quality on a really good DAC, the digital audio converter in this player is excellent. The amplifier is actually really good. A lot of portable players have underpowered headphone sections, like my old iPod had a very underpowered headphone section. This has good juice in it, and again, the DAC is incredible. So it sounds almost as good as my Oppo player. It really is a fantastic little device. I know lots of tech geeks will shit on this. They'll say, "Oh, you don't know what you're hearing." Man, I'm a musician. I know what I'm hearing. I listen to live music literally every day. I listen to people play acoustic instruments in halls every day. I know what real music's supposed to sound like. This sounds more like real music to me than CDs do. If I'm playing high res on this, this sounds more like real music, certainly than MP3s. I used to, on my old iPod, I played FLAC files, but obviously iPods don't support high res. They only support up to CD quality. They only support 16-bit. But if listening to those same 16-bit FLAC files on this sounds a lot better than on the iPod, because it's a better DAC and it's a better amplifier in this. So if you're looking for portable music, man, you got to check this out. I think it's one of the best things on the market. I looked into the Astral and Kerns. I looked into the FiOs, and they're good. But I think to get an Astral and Kern or a FiO that does what this does, you have to go into their upper end stuff that's going to cost a lot more money. I think the price to performance ratio on this player is really great. So Pono player, that's what I use for my portable music, and I'm loving every second of it. One of the best purchases I've made in recent memory. And on it, I usually, because this is a portable player, at home I can get away with plugging in something like my Philips Fidelio into them because it has enough juice to power them. But obviously those are open headphones. So on the go, what I use usually are my Audio-Technica M50s. Great, inexpensive headphone, good sound isolation, great for on the go. If it gets too hot or if I want to be a little more mobile, I will use my Shure SE215s. Great little in-ear monitor. They're a little warm for my taste. I like a little more detail retrieval than these offer because they're a little warm sounding. I prefer the Audio-Technicas, but these sound great for what they are. They're not horribly expensive. So that's what I use to listen to music on the go. So I hope you like my video, Carsten. Again, congratulations on 1,000 subscribers, and I look forward to continuing to watch your channel. This has been Poetry on Plastic Man. Thanks for watching.